Beyond the Starborn light, where humanity and Veyari found the source. Years after Captain Arlen Vance rediscovered the world of Veyar 4, humanity and the Veyari forged an alliance born not of conquest, but remembrance. The Veyari had built their civilization upon the legend of Arlen's ancestor, Sergeant Elias Vance, the human soldier who had died protecting them centuries ago. Together, they turned myth into truth and faith into unity. Now, the two species prepare to journey beyond known space, following a mysterious signal that seems impossibly linked to the legend of the Starborn, a light older than either world, calling them both home. The ship Elias Vance hung in orbit like a silver flame against the velvet dark. Its hull shimmered with hybrid designs, Terran steel blended with Veyari crystal architecture. It was the first vessel built by two civilizations, bound by a shared promise, to find where the legend began. Captain Arlen Vance stood at the viewport, eyes tracing the spiral of the Milky Way. Hard to believe, he murmured, that somewhere out there might be the thing that started it all. Behind him, Seer Auren Kaelith approached, her robe of silver silk moving like starlight on water. Belief, she said softly, is how legends begin. But discovery, is how they endure. The bridge came alive with quiet energy. Crews of both species, human officers and Veyari adepts, worked side by side, their voices calm, their movements synchronized. It was not a mission of conquest, it was a pilgrimage. Signal bearing locked, announced Terra, now Arlen's second-in-command. Origin, galactic edge. Power readings are, non-natural. Auren tilted her head, the faint bioluminescence along her temples pulsing. Non-natural. It's broadcasting in both electromagnetic and psionic spectra, Isha replied. Almost like it's aware. Arlen felt a shiver crawl up his spine. Set course. Let's find our ghost. Days passed as Elias Vance slipped beyond mapped space. The stars grew sparse, then dim, as though the galaxy itself faded into silence. No nebulae, no radiation storms, only vast emptiness. In the observation dome, Arlen watched the void with quiet awe. Beside him, Auren whispered, "It feels ancient. As though the universe remembers something here." "You mean someone," he said. Auren turned to him. "Perhaps your ancestor was not the first light we followed." Her words lingered. Arlen had grown up on stories of Elias Vance, the man who'd sacrificed everything to save a world not his own. But this journey felt larger than any one legacy. Something in the void was waiting for both their species. At the 5th week, the signal's pulse became almost musical, a rhythm like breath, like heartbeat. The crew began to dream strange, vivid visions, cities made of light, angelic forms drifting among dying stars, voices whispering in forgotten tongues. And through it all, the signal grew stronger. They found it orbiting a dead star, a vast, ring-like structure floating in silence. Its surface shimmered with the same alloy used in both Terran and Veyari construction, though older, impossibly older. Arlen's breath caught. That can't be human. Or Veyari. No, Auren said. But perhaps, we were both made from this. The Elias Vance descended toward an opening along the ring's edge. The chamber beyond pulsed with light, patterns that shifted and folded like thought itself. When they stepped onto the platform, the air trembled with resonance. Arlen felt it in his chest, a hum that seemed to recognize him. Then a figure appeared. Not flesh, not machine, a projection of radiant energy, vaguely humanoid, faceless but graceful. Its voice was not heard but felt. Children of the lost flame, it spoke in both their languages. You have come seeking your beginning. Auren's breath hitched. Who are you? We are the Starborn Archive, the echo of those who walked before your kind. We scattered seeds across the void, not as masters, but as gardeners. Humanity, Veyari, you are the harvest. Arlen's pulse raced. You created us? No. We awakened you. The chamber expanded in light, holograms filling the void around them. They saw stars forming, civilizations rising and falling. The Starborn had not ruled, but nurtured, guiding fledgling species until they could dream for themselves. Among the visions, Arlen saw something that froze him, a lone human ship, ancient and broken, crash-landing on Veyar centuries ago. His ancestors' ship. The Starborn's voice continued. Elias Vance was never meant to reach that world. But chance and courage are the twin flames of creation. His choice to save rather than conquer, reignited the purpose we lost. Auren turned toward Arlen, eyes luminous with tears. Your ancestors' compassion became our faith. It was never divine intervention, it was humanity itself. He nodded slowly, voice rough. Maybe that's the point. Maybe we are the miracle. The chamber pulsed brighter, as if in agreement. The Starborn presence dimmed. Our kind faded when we forgot why we created. You, the children of flame and light, have remembered. But the void still hungers. If you wish, we will return, remake what was lost. Arlen looked to Auren, then to his crew, human and Veyari, standing together under the same ancient glow. He shook his head. No. You don't need to return. We've already found what you left behind, each other. The silence that followed was deep and serene. Then the Starborn spoke one final time. Then the cycle is complete. Go, children of unity. Carry the light further than we ever did. The ring began to crumble, not in destruction, but in transformation, dissolving into radiant particles that drifted like fireflies into the dark. Weeks later, as Elias Vance turned back toward familiar stars, Arlen and Auren stood together on the bridge. The crew was quiet, contemplative. Every being on that ship carried the same calm understanding, they had not found gods, but kinship written in the cosmos itself. Auren smiled faintly. We sought the creators. We found only ourselves. Arlen's gaze softened. And maybe that's enough. She looked at him, eyes full of silver light. It is more than enough. He reached for her hand, human and alien, warm and cool, and for a moment, all the wars, myths, and doubts of their species faded into the glow of a shared dawn. Outside, a new sunrise broke across the stars. Decades later, humanity and Veyari would tell the story not as legend, but as history. How two children of the cosmos journeyed beyond the void, met the echoes of their makers, and chose not to bow, but to build. And somewhere in the endless night, a whisper lingered, the voice of the Starborn. The light endures, wherever hearts remember why they began.